sprints in Lausanne. And this is Sergei Makarov on his 6th and final attempt to try and catch Parvainen from Finland. Like father, like son. Look at that toss. His father, an Olympic medalist in this event in 1980, Alexander Makarov. Son has the height and the power and the speed down the runway. Watch the plant. It's a little like throwing a wiffle ball, one javelin thrower once told me. It takes technique, and you never know how far it's going to sail. 281 feet, 1 inch, 85+ meters. He has Backley trying to catch him. Backley's run up not nearly as good. He knows that he just steps over the line. Notice the belt he wears for back support. When we return, it's been the Nigerians that have surprised in women's sprinting this year. We'll see if they can continue with that in the women's 400 meters. Welcome back, everyone, to Lausanne, Switzerland for the Lausanne International Track Meet. This is Katja Bergqvist of Sweden attempting 1 meter 94 centimeters, 6 feet 4¼ inches. Good speed to the bar. Usually when you come down, a little primer here in the high jump, if you hit it with your calves on the way down, you probably were a little bit too far out from the bar. If you come down on the bar itself, your last step might have been a little too far out. And this is Yulia Lyakova of Russia as she attempts 1 meter 94 centimeters. She is tied for 3rd with Bergqvist right now, both having cleared 1 meter 90 centimeters. And she gets over the bar. Good approach, good speed. Watch the arm action, lift her. Lays out over the bar, pulls her arms back in. Notice how some of them will leave one arm out over. They go over. Others think that they get better guidance and make a more compact jump, pulling the arm back in. The women's 400 meters is next up on the track and ready to roll. U.S. national champion Kim Graham on the inside in lane 1. Fuchsova from Czech Republic is in 2. And then the Nigerians who have been leading the way this year. Falat Ogunkoya, it will be in lane 4. And keep an eye on Charity Opara out in lane 6. Fastest time in the world this year goes to Opara. She has the 3 of the 4 fastest times. She's in lane 6. The pack really nestled in the middle in here. Watch as they come off the turn and start heading for home. And there you see Lorraine Graham from Jamaica way out there. Here comes Opara and Ogunkoya in the middle of the track. Lane 4 is Ogunkoya as she begins to pull away from the rest of the field. Falet Ogunkoya, an interesting story, heading for the finish line, 50 3/100ths of a second. 3 times this year she's ducked under 50 seconds. The young Nigerian woman, a mother now, married, has 1 child, and actually took 5 years off in track and field. Did the woman wearing number 302, returned in 1995. Strong arm action, good lift, and excellent speed down the home stretch. She paced herself well, did not go out too hard, and came home the victor over the fastest woman in the world, her countrywoman Charity Opara. Coming up next, the 2 fastest hurdlers of all time in the men's high hurdles go at it head-to-head. And we got a false start there. Let's take a minute while we set this up. The hurdles themselves, 3.5 feet high, come almost, 60% up on the average male height's body, up to about your 4th or 5th rib. That's 1.067 meters. Slip in the blocks. There you see it. And that was in lane 5. That was Alan Johnson that slipped. And the starter called him back. These men run comparable type races. They're both quick out of the blocks. And there you see number 109. That is Falk Balzer from Germany. 2:12. Colin Jackson, the world record holder. Runner-up at the World Championships last year to Alan Johnson beside him. Johnson has worked earlier this year on his sprint speed and has lost a lot of hurdle races because he wasn't quite sharp enough. refocused his training a little bit here as the summer has progressed and has been winning. Ran very well in Zurich just a week or so ago, a couple of weeks ago actually now, and is the only athlete under 13 seconds this year. Both have great sprint speed. If they start hitting hurdles, it probably favors Johnson. Quick start bike. Colin Jackson out just ahead by a hair. Look at the two of them. Look at the symmetry. Johnson by the slightest of margins now. Here comes Colin Jackson. Always great with a lean is Colin Jackson, but it looks like perhaps by inches, Alan Johnson is the victor here in Lausanne. Both quality guys in the sense that they don't badmouth each other. They don't play the macho role. Excellent start by Jackson. Out his speed made the slight difference. He's nipping away at the hurdles, though. It's a clean race so far for Alan Johnson till that hurdle. Johnson has always ridden the hurdles well, just like that. It doesn't seem to slow him down. He catches it on his thigh. He did it at the Olympic Games and still ran the second fastest time of all time. Watch the lean at the tape. Johnson staying upright. It actually hurt, I think, Colin Jackson to lean as early as he did. He lost a little speed. You could see it in the last 3 steps to the run to the tape. Watch how quick they both are over the hurdles. Right there, they're even. Johnson beginning to edge ahead by inches, centimeters. Great effort, a lot of pride at stake. When you're this good, you want to control your sport. You want to dominate. And Alan did, if you can call it a domination, by 2/100ths of a second. Garcia from Cuba wound up third. Back over at the women's high jump. Right now, the only woman to clear 1 meter 94 centimeters and take the lead at 6 feet 4 1/4 inches is Monica Iager Denescu of Romania. A little competitive fire that you see there. Rolls up and catches the bar with her calves. Possibly a little too far back. One of the reasons the athletes like this Fosbury flop style, which has been in vogue for 30 years, is compared to the old straddle style. You can run to the bar about 10 or 15% faster. Jonathan Edwards, the world record holder in the triple jump, has 5 of the 6 best triple jumps coming into this meet so far this year. 16 meters, 87 centimeters for him. And he's struggling tonight. He's kind of below par so far in this competition with 3 jumps left. This is Lyakova and her attempt at 1 meter 97 centimeters. She is right now tied for third. The bar goes higher. Your margin for error on your final step continues to shrink. Plows right into the bar. As the bar goes higher, you also try and run ever so slightly faster to use your speed and your final motion on the final plant to drive yourself upward. Just came down on the bar. The majority of times when there's a miss, your plant is too close to the bar. When you talk to the athletes, they'll tell you that. No, not a good attempt at all. Monica Iager. Look at that. No misses until 1 meter 97 centimeters for her as she clears 1 meter 94 centimeters to win the women's high jump. When we come back, it's going to be the men's 1,500 meters. Welcome, everyone, to Lausanne, Switzerland. I'm Larry Rawson, ESPN's track and field commentator. Happy you're with us for this world-class event. Many of the finest all-around athletes in the world here to compete in Lausanne, Switzerland. There you see the field for the men's 1,500 meter. American Steve Holman, consistently America's best. John Kibbowen from Kenya, who has been running as well as any Kenyan. And the former world record holder at this event, Nordine Morsali, the Olympic champion in Atlanta. There you see him, number 10. He will be occupying the middle of the track there. He's wearing red from Algeria, suffering a little bit, really been struggling this year, not quite the runner he has been after this is the 10th year of hard training for him. Very crowded field. Got to be careful on the first turn here. of a 1,500-meter race as you go down that straightaway. This race will have rabbits in it. As a matter of fact, Sammy Lagat, this is interesting. The meet director paid him to run the 800 meters earlier, and that's Lagat out there pushing away on this pace, and he's due to tow everybody through the first 800 meters. Let's see what this pace is like. There in red, number 136, by the way, if you see that number, that is the 1992 Olympic champion from Spain, Fermín Cacho, in the race. Number 354 right there in your screen, wearing kind of the lime green. That is the Olympic champion in the 800 meters in 1992. That is William Chinui from Kenya, and the Olympic champion from 1,500 meters. We got at least 3 Olympic champions right here and there. We'll separate the field as we go. Canada's best runner, Kevin Sullivan, also in the race. Try and pick him out. The Kenyans showing their great talent, and deservedly so, have 5 runners in this race. 2 of them, 2 additional ones, are due to be rabbits to tow everybody along. Lagat, 52.5 for his first 400 meters. Very, very fast, probably too fast for everybody here. Let's see what they go by the first 800 meters in. Chinui, number 354, comfortably buried back there in 5th place. So far, Morcelli, number 280, is running right now in almost the dead middle of the track, if anything, in the middle of the pack. He has 2:46.8. He's in 9th place right now. Let's see if he's got something left. I mentioned how he's been struggling. He has the world record of 3:44.39 of a second for the mile, and Hisham El Garouz, the new mile king, has not caught that time yet. But Morcelli is running about 3 or 4 seconds in the mile slower than he has done in the past. There is Morcelli moving up right now. He is in 5th place. The 28-year-old's been complaining of fatigue and just saying, I need a break, but he can't quite bring himself to do it in the middle of the European season. 1:53.82 of a second for 800 meters. Robert Cabet, a winner of the Dream Miler earlier and is a rabbit in this race, is trying to pull everybody by here. 1 lap to go at 2:39. They get the bell. That's Cacho out there, pressing away. Driss Mazouzi from Morocco right now is up in 2nd place. There is Algeria's Nourdine Morcelli, 2 Olympic champions, 1st and 2nd right now. Mazouzi goes by. And it is Mazouzi in 2nd place, holding on for dear life right now, headed down the stretch with 100 meters to go. Nourdine Morcelli, the Olympic champion, trying to pull away, and it looks like he's going to be able to hold on. Nourdine Morcelli from Algeria. William Chinui from Kenya gets up for 3rd, and the time, 3 minutes, 34 and 98/100ths of a second. It should be comfortable time for him. However, that's the best time he has recorded, the 2nd best this year, and the best time he's recorded in a couple of months. That converts to about a 3:52 mile. Morcelli holding on. Mazouzi from Morocco gets up. Look at this. He almost slows down too soon. Last lap in 56.52 seconds. Morcelli looking very mortal these days. I'm sure happy with a victory in a major meet like this. His brother Abdurrahman in 1977 was among the top 10 milers in the world and guides him and has helped negotiate him some very attractive appearance fees over the last 10 years. He was the #1 ranked miler in the world from 1990 to 1996, and in one stretch from August of '92 to September of '96, after the Olympic Games, he had won 45 1,500-meter or mile races in a row. Nourdine Morcelli, number 280, wins here in Lausanne. You see the rest of the field. Kevin Sullivan struggling here to break 4 minutes. He's run 10 seconds faster than that 3:44. And the Rabbits round out the race as they did their duty well and were paid. Although Lagat did not run consistently, this man has been a model of consistency in his career. This is Michael Johnson, and he's up next. There's a saying that when the going gets easy, you're probably going downhill. And in 1996, Michael probably had visions of thinking, wow, life couldn't get any better. And it seemed like he was just cruising, maybe even downhill. Everything went well. Healthy, brilliant performances. And it hasn't been the same here since. This is Alexander Glavatsky from Belarus in the triple jump. We'll get over to Michael in just a minute. But this is turning into an interesting competition because Jonathan Edwards is not quite his usual self. Former world record holder Willie Banks called this event Power Ballet, and it was a great phrase, I thought. Really kind of touched on the beauty of it. This is the surprise of the event right now. He's in second place. This is Charles Friedrich from Germany. He is right now got the lead over the world record holder Jonathan Edwards. He gets most of the toe board, reaches out very well, powerful legs, extends well as also. It's amazing how far these triple jumpers go in 3 steps. And there you see he's taken the lead with a jump of 17 feet 7 centimeters over the world record holder. These men are amazing. Galfion cleared 5 meters 90 centimeters. The world record for the triple jump would mean that Jonathan Edwards can jump 590, 590, 590 in 3 steps. As high as they go, he can do in 1 step on the ground. His world record, 18 meters 29 centimeters, is amazing. It's the men's 400 meters, and all eyes will be on the center of the track. Michael Johnson, been bothered by injuries in 1998 and certainly was in 1997 after his race against Donovan Bailey up in Canada in that match race, has been struggling. But he's been able to hold things down, stay healthy here in the last couple of months, improve his speed. As you look at Roxbert Martin from Jamaica, who will be running in this race. Martin will be in lane 5. There you see number 323, Mark Richardson, one of the 2 best of the Great Britain sprinters at 400 meters. On the outside there, number 273 will be American Danny McCrae. Past world indoor champion is on his outside from Nigeria. That is the big, tall countenance of Sunday Bada. There is Michael Johnson. Center of the track usually is where the best of the athletes in an individual race will get. From 1989 to 1997, he had 58 successive finals-only victories in a row. And he's the only man this year under 44 seconds for 400 meters. The injuries have slowed him down at 200 meters, so he doesn't have quite the sprint speed he had 2 years ago in Atlanta, and it makes him a little vulnerable in the 400 as the result. His main competition should come from the inside in lane 3. Michael's in lane 4. That is Jerome Young, an up-and-coming star from St. Augustine's College in the United States, the national champion in the USA. And there you see the 4 runners who are outside of Michael. Michael is inside on that picture. There is Johnson moving up slowly. Young on his inside, watching Johnson carefully and is staying right with him. It's actually now on the inside. That is Jerome Young with a slight lead as they turn and head for home. 100 meters to go. Jerome Young on the inside. Michael Johnson next to him. Johnson powering away slowly but surely. Michael Johnson with his great strength and speed, winning and pulling away easily here in Lausanne. 44 and 29 100ths of a second. Only 2 other men have run as fast or faster this past year. One of them in the race, Jerome Young. The other one, Alvin Harrison, an American. But it's Michael Johnson enjoying a very good second half of the year. He won the Goodwill Games earlier this summer, about a month ago in the United States, running under 44 seconds. And he will be the top 400-meter runner again in the world for 1998 based on the victories he's had so far, as he easily handles the rest of this world-class field, including the young American star rising, and that is Jerome Young, who takes second. Michael, by a relatively big margin here, thrills the crowd in Lausanne, Switzerland. Very private man, very focused, enjoys being alone. Hard working guy, very close to his college coach, who he's been with and has been coaching him going on now 10 years. And there you see, actually more than 10 years, about 12 years now. Michael takes the victory by about 65/100ths of a second. Final attempt, world record holder Jonathan Edwards gets out well, but he's still behind in this competition. Great hop phase, good step, and he reaches out, little short on the jump final phase. 17 meters, 55 feet, 9 1/4 inches, and he will not get the victory today. This is Tatiana Shikolenko from Russia. Formerly the #1 ranked women javelin thrower in the world, it was Shikolenko. Sonia Bisset from Cuba, another one of the top javelin throwers. Their javelin a little less in length and a little lighter than the men's, and they like to scream too. And here is the woman who's been dominating this year. This is Trine Hattestad from Norway. Her throw is best so far in this night. Hattestad with the victory, 67.98 meters. When we come back, a man some people think is one of the 2 greatest distance runners of all time. The men's 3,000 meters is next, and all eyes will be on that man, Daniel Komen, now 22 years of age, and he has been just a lightning bolt in the sport of track and field, along with Haile Gebrselassie in distance races, going back over just the last 3 or 4 years. But it's been amazing. There is the field in the 3,000. Keep an eye on American Bob Kennedy, who has run 7 minutes and 30 seconds this year for a personal best. Luke Kipkoski, I think, may have the best chance to run with Komen. Thomas Nyariki has run 7:30 earlier this year. Martin Kano is better known as a miler, and he's the son of the great Kip Kano. Martin has run 3:53 for the mile, and he now has the family record over his dad. There will be rabbits in this race, as there always are in long-distance races. Chariot from Kenya expected to take out the lead, and Kano, Martin, there he is in second place, will follow through and press the pace at least past the mile mark itself, is what they're scheduled to do. There you see the lime green colors of the Kenyans and the uniforms that they wear, and look at them all up there bunched. It is absolutely amazing what this cradle of running has turned out on the world scene. We said earlier we'd chat a little bit about history and records, and probably the most comparable distance early on in track and field was the 2 mile. This race is 7.5 laps. 8 laps would be the virtual 2 mile race, and it's amazing what has been achieved. The sport had its roots back in the early 1860s, and distance training was really very embryonic in those days, and people didn't know much about the human body and how far it could be pushed. But when you look back to the turn of the century, Alf Schrub, a great runner from Great Britain, ran 9 minutes and 11 seconds for 2 miles. When you compare back at the turn of the century, his time and the time of Daniel Komen, who has run 2 individual miles back-to-back in the 2 mile run, and has averaged faster than Roger Bannister did when he broke the 4-minute mile in 1958. He ran 3:59.4 and did just about the exact same time, 3:59.4, for a second mile. So it's just amazing. He's better than a minute faster than what the great Alf Schrub did back at the turn of the century. And the human body has learned that it is much more resilient and strong than we ever thought 100 years ago or 75 years ago through the training of distance runners. And it's obviously a healthy lifestyle, makes you more fit and able to cope with the stresses of life as well. They go by the mile mark there in about 4 minutes and 2 seconds. And it is becoming 2 races here as Luke Kipkoski, who might threaten off this type of pace, is back right now in the pack. That is Kipkoski in 3rd place, number 227, right in front of Bob Kennedy. Pretty shocking when you think of the man in 2nd place, Komen, as to how good he is. I mentioned his 2-mile time of averaging 3:59 a mile for 2 miles. And then when he set the world record at 5,000 meters, which is just over 3 miles, for 3 miles, he averaged 4 minutes and 4 seconds per mile for 3 miles. So he slowed down only 5 seconds per mile and ran another one at the same pace. Absolutely shocking. The crowd getting into the European rhythmic applause as they try and inspire Komen. It is all his race now. 2,000 meters passed in 5 minutes and 3 seconds. Well off world record pace, but Komen out there alone. Kipkoski, then Nyariki, then Kennedy, following in that order, a good 30 meters behind. 2 laps to go, a little less than 2 laps right now. Bob Kennedy, the American to the right of your picture with the white top on, who trains over in London and lives with the Kenyans while they rest and train in between these races in Europe during the summertime, was asked about the training of Daniel Komen, the man in the lead. And he said, you know, I can do all the workouts of everybody else and the great Kenyans. He said, and they train very hard. He said, but I can't do what Daniel Komen did. And then he paused and he looked at the person he was speaking with and said, he is really out there. Perhaps from a distance runner, the ultimate compliment. One lap to go. Komen looks over his shoulder. An easy 62-second lap for him. He still has 25 meters on the rest of the field, 20 meters. Kipkoski in 2nd place. Komen with about 300 meters to go and a good 20 meters lead. Picking up the pace a little bit, you can tell by the leg turnover. Now there's 200 meters to go. The crowd in appreciation for the tremendous talent he has and his effort. Here comes closing the gap is Luke Kipkoski. Having a career year this year is Kipkoski. Look at him closing down. Komen looks over his shoulder and sees him. Tries to accelerate. He looks left. He looks right. Look at the close of Kipkoski. And he wins. Daniel Komen could seemingly not shift gears. What a sensational lap.